Alright, well, today's going to be the first time that I take the boat out for an overnighter. Just a camping trip. I'm going to sail up the St. Johns River as far as I can get today and spend at least one night, maybe two, on anchor. So, I've definitely overpacked. I've got enough gear, food, and clothing for a week. But I haven't really done this on my own boat for almost 30 years. I'm not nervous, but I'm a little bit jittery. My biggest problem is probably going to be no wind, or a very low wind. I might not get very far, but we're gonna go. I got food and drinks and plenty of ice. Vital necessities. My bedding. I even brought some fishing gear. And surprisingly, we're not becalmed for our first cruise. Still sailing straight upwind, and probably have to do this for about 6 miles. But that's alright. Short tacking is something I need a little practice in. So my goal for this evening is about 15 miles away. At 3 knots, I don't think we're going to make it, especially having to tack all the way. So I'm going to have to pick an anchorage a little closer. A little shot to the ego, but I guess this trip is not about distance, but more about a little bit of time and a little bit of exposure. My instrument array is working just fine. I'm showing 20 feet on my depth sounder, and the Navionics is agreeing. As always, the wind in the river is really fluky, and I'm fighting about a 1 knot or 1.5 knot tidal current. Tide's coming in. We're about 2.5 hours from high tide. So we still got a little bit of this fighting against the tide for a while. It's amazing, there's basically no wind. But I've got the sails full. And I'm doing about 2 knots. It really is just absolutely quiet and beautiful out here. We'll see how I do setting an anchor in this current. Just ghosting along at 2 knots. I got about an hour and a half to 2 hours of sunlight left. Hopefully I'll make the anchorage that I really want, which is kind of out in the wilderness. Alright, I'm anchored down in this little cove here. There are a few houses around, but not very close, so pretty comfortable with living here for, I don't know, 15 hours or so. The time right after anchoring is always such a relaxing time for me. It just feels so calm just to wrap the boat up, tuck everything away, and get ready for the evening. Alright, I'm anchored down. I've buttoned everything down. Nothing left to do but do a little fishing. Something was jumping around out there. So maybe a little bit of topwater action as the sun goes down. Who knows? When the water looks like this, I'm never too worried about whether I'm going to catch something or not. It's just a nice opportunity to stare at the water, cast the lure out. Well, no fish, but it's the end of day 1. Sun going down over here, moon coming up over there. Alright, one last ritual. My first anchor beer, or sundowner, however you want to look at it. Cheers. It's just so pretty out here. There's a little breeze now, and it's cooling down. And even Palatka looks beautiful in the glow of the sunset. It's time to go down and prep the cabin for the night, fix up my bunk, and get comfortable to get some sleep. All right, it's 7:30. I just got up and made the bed. Time to make my coffee. Coffee's made, sun's up. There's a slight breeze on the water. Might just try to drift south towards Palatka and maybe dock up on their city dock and walk over and find a place for breakfast. Well, we're sailing. We're doing about a knot and a half. In the morning mist, I can't ask for more. Getting under the bridge with this light breeze might be just a little bit dicey. Looks like the city dock is closed. I think it got damaged in the hurricane. Oh well, guess we head back home. Bald eagle. All right, well, we're back on the dock. Now it's time to write down everything I learned, all the things that I really need for this kind of thing. Because my plan is to take this thing cruising down the coast, maybe all the way to the Keys. One thing is showering in the cockpit kind of sucks, but I think it'll be a lot better if I have pressure water out there and I can use salt water to sort of get started washing and then rinse off with fresh water. I need more lighting, a lot more lighting. The interior is halfway decent, but I need more lighting interior, and there's no lighting outside. So I need some cockpit lighting, I need spreader lights, and I need a good bow light to illuminate the anchoring area. I got plenty of storage, I'm surprised. It's a small boat, but I've got plenty of storage, especially just for one person. The ice box is a joke. It doesn't hold ice very well. There's absolutely no insulation on the underside of the counter. So I guess I could add some insulation to it, but realistically, it's not going to hold ice very well. I might just use it to store food and then have a 12-volt cooler that will hold things at least cold, if not icy. So yeah, I still got a lot to do to get this thing ready to do a longer trip. I'm learning as I go along, and hopefully I'll get a little more actual sailing in. Thanks for watching.